Hello everybody, my name is Benjamin Bloom, and if you are here for an Ipswich Town review, I'm going to apologise now. I'm not in Sunderland. I'm very disappointed I'm not in Sunderland because Ipswich have won, but I am in Reading and I have just witnessed Reading 0, Millwall 2. So this is the second time this week I have seen Millwall. I was at their game against Derby on Tuesday or Wednesday, whenever it was, and that was 0-0, and that was by no means a point snatched. Millwall were pretty good value for their point, and had a good game, and I was quite impressed with them. So I've come to Reading today. Someone offered me some work in Marlow, and I took it. I took the money and didn't drive all the way to Sunderland. So, what a terrible football supporter I am. So what I was expecting was the Yap Stam kind of patient passing game against the Neil Harris straight 4-4-2, one up, one down at the front, and the pressing and the organised. Seems like quite a good matchup for a neutral like me. So Reading, now last time I saw them they did not play three at the back, but today they played three at the back, which as you'll probably already guess by the result, really didn't work for them. So Manone in goal, it was Ilori, Elphick making his debut, and Moore were the three centre-halves. Gunter was the right wing-back, Bakuna left wing-back. Then you had Vandenberg and Edwards in the midfield sitting. Barrow, I'm going to say, was an attacking midfielder, but he moved all over and mainly gravitated to the left. And he was off Kermorgan and Bodvarsson. So kind of a 3-5-2 with Barrow spare. Millwall, as you'd expect, 4-4-2. Archer in goal. McLaughlin right back, Meredith left back, Hutchison and Cooper centre backs. In the midfield, Onion Dimmer, who didn't start, came on against Derby, starts today on the left. Williams and Saville in the middle, Wallace left, Gregory up front, and the guy who wasn't there on Tuesday but was today was Stephen Morrison up front. Very experienced, very wily centre forward. Nothing doing for the first 10 minutes. Reading are trying to get their passing going, but they're too slow. Millwall are all over them and Reading can't get into the game. First chance, Wallace, he goes down the left, he switched over, low cross to Gregory. Moore blocks it and then it bounces straight back into Gregory's leg and goes over, so it could have been a lucky goal. 14, good work from Morrison, he slides in Wallace. It's a driven cross this time. Manone, I thought, should have held it, but he doesn't. He spills it. Onyedinma's in, but not quick enough. Millwall are on top now. They've taken the game by the scruff of the neck. Ilori takes a yellow. He's late on Saville. Millwall have it in the net here. The free kick gets floated in. Strong header on by Cooper. Gregory is in. He stabs it in, but he's offside. That was on 18. So the first quarter goes by. Millwall are the better side. Reading are unable to get through the sort of strong press and the team shape of Millwall. Millwall having all the better attacking moments as well. Already I could see the problem was the Reading wing-backs just not getting on the ball at all and leaving the two guys short in midfield. So real kind of failure of system. On 30 minutes, disappointing for Elphick and for the Reading supporters, he goes down and he immediately thumps the ground because he knows he's injured and he knows he's going off. That was his debut, so disappointing there after presumably working hard to get a loan signing on. And Blackett comes on for Reading, and he's going to become an important figure in the second half. Great action on 32. Millwall with a really great move, some lovely football here. Nice build up down the right. It's a great back heel, and McLaughlin, the right back's got right forward. He's in, he drives it across, and Manone makes a really decent save. It's a good shot. Goes out to Barrow on the break, and he does a brilliant run, takes on two of them, and then a poor cross to finish with. And I got the idea from the Reading fans, this is a bit of a theme from Barrow. Really dangerous, really quick, on the dribble, no final product. Gregory and Moore have a bit of fisticuffs there. I was going to keep my eye on that, see how that develops. That was off the ball. Corner driven in. Morrison kind of toe ender and an easy save by Manone. McLaughlin takes a yellow for a tactical foul on Barrow. Now, this was a good tactical foul short term, but a bad move for McLaughlin long term, because this meant that he couldn't get physical with Barrow, and that didn't work out well for him in the second half. 43, free kick gets floated in. It's a looping header from Morrison. Mannone gets a hand on it. There's two on the line. From where I was sitting, I looked straight at the ref, because I've seen a couple of these for Ipswich this season, and you look and the thing on their wrist goes and they do this, and I was expecting a goal to be signalled. That must have been very close, but not. Seconds later, Onyedinma goes down the left, he cuts inside, he's blocked out, it gets to Morrison, he feeds Wallace, and his shot is saved easily. Onyedinma again off the left, he bends it in this time. Ilori's kind of diving back, stretches, get a touch on it, and not far wide. Mannone full dive on that. Millwall really on top now. Reading do get a breakaway before half time though. Barrow, as I said, on McLaughlin can't go near him, he's on a yellow. Again, he can't find a cross. Millwall would have been disappointed not to be leading after that half. They really were far and away the better side. When I've seen Reading before, they've split the centre halves, pushed the full-backs on in a back four, I must say. Vandenberg comes in and they overrun everybody in midfield if they can break the press passing out from the back. Today, really slow, no splitting. You can't split three at the back. That didn't happen. The centre backs got time on the ball, but nobody else did, and the centre backs passing wasn't really good enough for that to affect. So I'm very surprised in the second half that Stam hadn't made a change to go to a back four. That seemed obvious to me, and I was proven to be right as we go through the second half. Another nice run by Barrow, better ball this time. He remains the real only Reading player who is coming close to maybe either assisting or getting a goal. Long stoppage for treatment on Vandenberg. I think he clashed with Morrison. On 52 is a horrible mistake by Blackett. He's got time on the ball and he wants to do a little step over and he's dilly-dallying, and he hasn't done his research, because Gregory, whatever you say about him, is not the man to do that with. He'll swarm around you. He takes the ball off him. He goes for a low, tough cross. Morrison gets on the end of it, but his shot is blocked. So warning signs there. Wallace takes a yellow for a foul on Edwards. Morrison volleys over. Right, great run from Barrow now. Driven cross. Edwards is throwing himself in it. Throws his legs at it. He can't get anything on it. The Millwall defender in front of him must have got something on the ball. Sorry, there's lots of beeping in the Reading car park. Wow, will you shut up? Some annoyed Reading fans, I think, here. From the corner, Vandenberg volleys over. Reading are now playing with a bit of greater speed and they're getting a little bit more joy. Barrow beats his man yet again on 60. Low cross, but Varsin gets a foot on it. This one goes wide. And Harris makes the move now. He takes McLaughlin off, who's defending on a yellow card, and brings in Romeo right back for a bit more pace. Now another horror show from Blackett on 63, gives it away in a bad spot, and Reading then concede a free kick which is floated in and Moore has to defend. Well, the game's gone a bit end to end now. Good watch. Wallace and Onyedinma swap wings. Again, I don't know if this is to cope with Barrow, who's gravitating to that side and they need more legs to double up on him. Chris Martin makes his Reading debut here. He's come on loan. He rejected Sunderland, much to the annoyance of the Sunderland fan I spoke to on the Blue Monday podcast, and he chose Reading. He comes in for Kermigan, who I've seen Reading. This is the fourth time I've seen. He's been very ineffectual this season, maybe a fading force, let's just say. And we go to the 70th minute and Millwall are going to take the lead. It's 1-0 to Millwall on 70. So Meredith gets a throw. He throws it down the line and wins another one. And Morrison orchestrates all of this. He positions himself in the channel, stops Meredith. He takes the long throw in. He then gets the flick, and Gregory, man, it's a really good flick. Gregory reads it, manages to hold it up. He plays it back to Wallace. Now, you'd want Wallace to be able to hit a first-time shot on the edge of the box. He can't. Wallace shows really good composure. He doesn't just think, oh, well, I'm off balance, I'm still going to swing at the ball and take a shot. He takes a touch. He feeds it out to Romeo, and they get a bit lucky. Romeo hits the shot. It deflects off, I think, Bakuna, who's closing him down, and Mannone's wrong-footed. It goes in on his near post and Millwall take the lead. Credit needs to go to Morrison for orchestrating that, and big style for Wallace for not, kind of just swinging a foot at the shot and for taking a touch and kind of playing it out. So Millwall have managed to force the lead, and then the real killer blow, and it's Blackett again, unfortunately. I don't have a vendetta against this guy, but he had a really, really bad game. Morrison robs him. Now, Morrison is a big guy. He's got no pace, but he's clever. He's got it up here. He comes forward and he plays a really, really sensible ball that's going to ask a lot of questions. Just slides it in behind, and Gregory's running in. He's got defender with him, and Manone's coming out. And he kind of plays it in the middle of all three of them. Gregory gets there first. His touch takes him around Manone, and it's a good finish once he's gone round. He's got the open goal, and obviously the defender and the goalkeeper converge, so no chance of a block there. Well played, Morrison. From that situation, he did exactly the right thing and is pretty much responsible for that goal. Obviously, great work by Gregory for the finish. Wallace goes out. Ferguson comes in, so obviously Onyedinma then goes back over, and Ferguson goes down the left. Cooper takes a yellow for stopping a counter attack. Bakuna over the free kick, and a very uncomfortable moment on 80 where Blackett, who it was awful and made 3 very clear mistakes to give Millwall chances, one of which result in the goal. So he's come on 30 minutes and he gets substituted on 80, and some kind of boos and jeers and nastiness from some of the Reading fans, not at all happy with what was a very, very bad performance from him. Felt a bit sorry for him, because it's always uncomfortable when you see getting derided by one set of fans and cheered by your own fans. Barrow into Budvarsson here, shoots, good block by Hutchison here. Edwards takes a yellow, Bakuna takes a yellow. Gregory goes out and Shackle goes in, so Harris really locking up for Millwall now. 3 at the back with the fullbacks. They're not wing backs, so really 5 across the back. Sort of 5-4-1 to finish the game. Martin slides it into Vandenberg. He puts it over. And Bakuna, there's a good chance actually, right at the very end. Bakuna crosses in. Edwards glances the header, and Archer dives across the goal to make the save. So good work from Millwall today. Good win for them. Funnily enough, I thought they were more on top in the first half when they didn't get the goals. Reading had a good period at the start of the second half, mainly through Barrow's strong running, but as soon as the substitution was made and they got new legs on Barrow, Millwall took the 2 goals. They made it count. 2 quick goals on 70 and 72 to win the game. They're tight at the back, Millwall. They hold a very, very good team shape. Wallace has got quality, but the guy who made the difference today was Morrison. He didn't play for them, as I said when I saw him on Tuesday, draw against Derby, but he strikes me as the sort of guy who's the manager's kind of eyes on the pitch. He's organising other players, and on both the goals he plays a big part. He's clever. He's telling Meredith where to throw it and getting Wallace behind him for the first goal, and he just couldn't have, when he robbed Blackett in the build-up for the second goal, he couldn't have done it any better. He moves forward, he realises he doesn't have the pace, and he makes all 3 of the guys make a decision, Manone and Wallace, and that causes the goal. So Morrison would be my star man for Millwall. For Reading, it would have to be Barrow. I know, I can see for the Reading fans, Barrow would be a frustrating player because he's very quick, he can dribble, he can take on a man, and as soon as McLaughlin was on a yellow, he was roasting him time and again. I can see the final ball's not there, but really it was a poor performance for Reading today, and Barrow was the only kind of shining light. Be very interested in the comments and hearing from both sets of fans. Very impressed with Millwall over the 2 games. I might try and get to see them play Cardiff on Friday night as well. That will be a good matchup, Harris versus Warnock. Impressed with Harris. The team's very well organised. Morrison made a difference today. Wallace has got quality, and Morrison and Gregory is a nice partnership up front. And I think Saville and Williams do good unsung work in the midfield there, and good travelling support here. I know it's not a long journey from Millwall to Reading, but nice full end for Millwall, nice and loud. And as I said on Tuesday, nice Club United all behind the manager, and looked good today and looked good for a decent finish, maybe pushing the top half. Reading, what's going on? Losing playoff finalists in a penalty shootout last year. They could be in the Premier League this year. it didn't work today at all. They were too slow with the passing. I felt that Stam needed to react and change it from 3 at the back, and even pushing the centre half further forward into midfield would have made a big difference for that extra body. And he didn't seem to read the situation today. Kermorgant seems to be fading. Maybe Martin can make a difference. Bad news about Elphick. So very keen to hear from Reading fans on where you see it going for the rest of the season with Stam. Hope you enjoyed the review. Sorry if you came here for Ipswich and to hear me talk about a win. We'll go into that in more detail on the Blue Monday podcast tomorrow with Dave. Please give me a thumbs up, a subscribe for more Championship comment, and please, Reading Millwall fans, let me know what you think in the comments. Am I right? Am I wrong? Don't be afraid to disagree, and please come back for more reviews. Thank you for watching.